Have you ever had those feelings of uncertainty? I have. You know, those situations that cause you to feel unsteady, not safe, unsure. Unsure about the risk you're about to take, unsure about the future, unsure about your personal future. One of my greatest times of uncertainty was whether or not to exit an industry I was successfully part of for 20 years and accept the call to vocational ministry. That was over 21 years ago, and it's been quite an exciting ride ever since. I had always had a serving heart for the church, but to take a 60% reduction in salary, not to mention very limited benefits at the time, I had pretty serious questions that God didn't seem to be ready or willing to answer. Would I be putting my family in financial risk? Am I so self-absorbed that it's all about what's good for me, what I want? Will I have to sell our house on 5 acres, our horses, my beloved 1963 Alice Chalmers D17 tractor? I honestly had the kind of uncertainty that would have easily turned to doubt and even suspicion that Satan was trying to lure me away from the security God had provided my family. As I sought God's guidance, I must admit, He sure seemed silent and absent. It turned out God was neither absent nor silent. I just wasn't listening to Him yell at me through my wife, Mana. Now you need to know, she was not the one yelling. God was just speaking loudly to me through her. I simply was expecting Him to speak to me different. Over the years, I've learned that He regularly speaks to me loud and clear through her soft, loving heart and voice. On just a side note, she is clearly my greatest earthly blessing. You know, our human nature is very susceptible to the outside forces of the enemy. And it's our human nature to have questions that raise the level of uncertainty and doubt within ourselves, leaving us searching for something that will anchor us. We get distracted rather than being still and listening to that still, quiet voice that's saying, go, walk in this way. The good news is, it's that very human nature of ours that God wants to make new within us. There's a passage in the book of Hebrews I'd like to share with you, the parts where God certainly spoke to me, and perhaps will speak to you as well, about gaining certainty in life. In chapter 6, he says, we are confident that you are meant for better things, things that come with salvation. Now, these better things he talks about include that he wants us to make certain that what we hope for will come true, and that those of us who receive his promise will be perfectly sure that he will not change his mind. He adds that if we take refuge in him, we can have great confidence as we hold to the hope that lies before us. He ends by saying this hope is a strong and trustworthy anchor for our souls. Any sense of uncertainty in our lives can be displaced, actually forced out, by placing all we hope for in what God has promised. And those promises are for you and me. But steadfast hope, the certainty of hope, takes faith, and not casual faith. For as we also read in Hebrews, faith is the confidence that what we hope for will actually happen. It gives us assurance about the things we cannot see. And we also read, without faith, it is impossible to please God. We can easily look around and see this world is filled with uncertainty that the enemy uses to infiltrate our minds and hearts, to distract us away from the voice of God. So God provides us with the opportunity, the invitation to choose to simply live our lives by faith. But not just to gain certainty for our own benefit, for we are also called to pull alongside of others to help them gain the same.